This is a severe weather update from We Are Iowa's most accurate weather team.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We have a new warning. It's for the thunderstorm complex, that giant complex to the southwest. It's basically going to be expanded up into the Des Moines area now. Let's go and show you the radar here, and you can see this giant. This is one of the biggest warning areas I've ever seen, Taylor.
Yeah, this is large, covering 8 or 9 counties.
Yeah, and it almost has to be because it's this large complex. You just don't know what's going to come out of it. One thing we do know is going to be some gusty winds and possibly some hail and possibly some wind, or the wind is the primary threat right now. Yep. But there could be some hail, and certainly the threat for a tornado is always there. We've got that one tornado warning that continues out to the east in Keokuk County, down into Jefferson County. We haven't seen any reports yet from that particular storm. Taylor's keeping an eye on that, but we haven't seen any reports yet, but still capable of producing a tornado. We have right now severe thunderstorm warning coming into central Iowa. This is primarily for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Not seeing too much in the way of hail reported with this storm. The hail is actually up in the Ames area, going Huxley to Ames. That's where we have the most likely area for hail. That warning continues in the Ames area. So let's go back out, and I'll show you the thunderstorm complex here. We'll put this into motion for you. You can see the thunderstorms moving on in, and they're moving very, very quickly. Is it still reported 60 miles per hour, Taylor?
Well, this is correct, yeah.
Or 50, it says.
This storm is moving to the north at 50 miles per hour.
And that's the Ames one?
Correct.
What's the Des Moines one then?
This one.
Make sure we got the time. That's 50 as well.
This new warning down south,
yeah,
65 miles per hour is what they're saying.
Yeah, so some of these storms, and it's kind of like on the periphery out here, they are moving even faster than some of the others. So down here to the south, some of these storms are flying in here at 60 miles per hour. I mean, there's a big storm around Centerville right now, so we might see more warnings being issued. And the most likely tornadic area might be eastern Iowa, so because those storms are a little more isolated out there, and they might have a little bit better of wind backing, is what we call, more of a southeast wind at the surface. But definitely some severe weather coming into central Iowa now. It's racing in at 60 miles per hour. Let me just zoom out just a little bit more so we can encompass everybody here as to what's going on. So we've got a lot of thunderstorms out there. I'm going to stop the loop here, and I just want to draw, it's going to be hard, but there's just such a large area, and they're moving very, very fast. But here's some of the areas, it's going to be affected by it, but just enormous area.
Yeah,
as you can see.
And then,
so we got a new warning out.
Second tornado warning issued.
Yeah, I just saw that. Let's go in for a closer look here. So this new tornado warning is off to the east, and that's the one I was watching. It's actually outside of our viewing area, but these are the most dangerous storms as far as tornadoes go, I think, and they're going to be moving up into eastern Iowa. So if you do happen to live in Jefferson County, you're watching us, Keokuk County, especially Keokuk, eastern Keokuk County, still under that tornado warning. Let me zoom into this storm right here. And you can see it's moving up toward the Talleyrand area. Between Ollie and Richland is where there is a possible tornado with that storm. Again, just on the edge of the viewing area. So we're primarily going to focus on the metro here. Of course, a lot of people here in central Iowa that could be impacted by these storms. And some of the highest winds are possibly right here in Madison County. So I'm going to stop and look in Madison County with our velocity scope. And we got some pretty high winds here, Taylor. I'm going to ID this, but we've got winds 74 miles per hour. Now, that's up inside the cloud. We're not looking at the surface here. We're looking at 4,000 or 5,000 feet up, but that's not far because the thunderstorm has the ability to push those winds down to the surface. So 60 to 70, I would say, would definitely be possible.
Yeah, and we already have reports of 60-mile-per-hour winds near Creston and reports of some tree limbs that were knocked down in the town of Creston at about 3:15 or so. So this is the same storm that's heading closer and closer to the metro.
So yeah, so this thunderstorm is going to be coming into the metro. We'll probably, we may just stay on coverage here. I'm not sure if we can even break away. We might break away for a few minutes, but these thunderstorms are pushing in so quickly. The thunderstorms, again, not much hail with the ones coming into central Iowa right now. I'll show you the hail I can show you the hail tracker. Okay, I've got the permission to stay on. So the hail tracker is not showing any large hail really anywhere. So hail has not become a real concern with these storms, except for maybe the ones in eastern Iowa, the one in Ames, and also there's one out towards Sioux City. So those are little streaks of where the hail would be. Here's our big picture again. These thunderstorms moving in from the north, some 50 to 60 miles per hour, and packing winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour and racing toward the metro here. So I'm going to put a loop on that right now. You can see them pushing on very, very quickly here. We got a wind gust. Okay, they have hail video. Where's it shot from? Okay, we have hail video from West Des Moines we can put up on the screen, and maybe we can even go a double box or something like that and put it up. But there it is. So some of our Local 5, Ashley Carrasco was out, and you can see the hail right there. It looks like about pea-sized hail. We had that reported in West Des Moines, so this is as the storm passed through. This is the same storm, by the way, that strengthened and is now hitting Ames. So this is the same storm that is hitting Ames right now. This was hitting West Des Moines about an hour ago.
Actually, that storm had quarter-size hail at Jordan Creek Mall.
Oh, it did have quarter-size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we did not get the worst of it here. So Ashley was lucky not to get the big hail here, but that was just not too far from Local 5 out toward, that looks like the interstate area on 3580. So again, severe weather continues. We've got thunderstorms coming in to the metro right now. They're cruising in very quickly. So far, the threat has been mainly wind. With these next storm coming in, earlier it was hail, now it's wind, and the winds are really hitting the area pretty hard. So that's what's coming our way out of the north. We can't really see much more than that after this line goes through. In fact, it looks like it's going to quiet down pretty quickly. So this line is going to be in the Des Moines area probably by 4:30 to 5. So that's when we're going to see this hit us in Des Moines or Polk County and the suburbs. Yeah. So have you seen anything new out here? Your wind's about the same, 70 miles per hour or
yeah,
so.
And that's at about 2,000 feet up. So the radar scans up in the clouds a little bit. Like you were saying, it doesn't take much for those types of winds to make their way down to the ground. And yeah, definitely in Madison County, up toward Dallas County now, we're starting to see those really strong winds pick up in intensity. And then, of course, down toward Clark and Decatur County, some strong winds. The storm itself is moving 65 miles per hour.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. When a storm is moving that fast, it definitely has the capability of producing winds as fast as it's moving. That's just kind of an obvious thing. So if it's moving 60 or 65, then it certainly has the ability to produce winds of that nature as well. I do have the storm reports up if they want to go to the computer, maybe double box that. I just want to show what we've had reports of so far with this system, and I'm going to zoom that out just a little bit more. But those are the reports we have today here in Iowa, and you can see we've got a couple reports of hail west of us. We've got 2 reports of tornadoes. They've only been in northwestern Iowa, but I do believe southeast Iowa or eastern Iowa, either one, is going to get some tornadoes this afternoon. Our threat right now, at least right now, at this moment, our greatest threat is wind from these thunderstorms as they come into central Iowa and really hitting Madison County hard right now, coming into Warren County and just south of Warren County down into Clark County. Some heavy thunderstorms in Osceola right now.
Brad, we got a couple more reports coming in. At 3:30, Creston experienced a gust of 65 miles per hour.
Okay.
And then penny-sized hail reported out of Ames at about 3:50, so about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, so we'll go into Ames real quick here. Stop the loop because it is moving so quickly, it seems like. But that storm has passed through the Ames area now. So if you're in the Ames area and you need to get somewhere, this is probably a good time to get somewhere, because after this, more storms are going to be moving in. And so we've got a little break in the action. But here are the thunderstorms already coming into West Des Moines. You can see this little thunderstorm right here coming in right into West Des Moines right now. No severe weather with that storm, but that's just the beginning of this bigger area. You can see Winterset getting pounded right now with heavy rain and high winds. There's not a whole lot of lightning with these and not a whole lot of hail with them, but primarily it's just wind and rain with these thunderstorms right now. And thankfully, we haven't had too much in the way of tornadoes here. But as I expected here, eastern Iowa, we've got 3 tornado warnings right beside each other here.
Yep, that's right.
And very soon, I'm sure we'll have some confirmations of those. Your GR is not confirming any of those, then they haven't spotted any of them.
Nope,
we also have chasers out there as well, and we may call on our chasers. They're professional storm chasers that we use here at Local 5, and we may call on them to show you what's happening. But right now, it's rain and wind primarily across the area, moving off to the northeast. And it looks like they've updated something here. Isolated cells in northern eastern parts, CWS. So I don't see anything new there. Let me put it back over central Iowa here and put this loop back in motion. Again, these storms are moving so fast at 60 miles per hour. So I'm just going to zoom into one area here that's going to impact, say, Polk County, and just put a label on this and see how quickly it's going to get here. But if it's moving at 60 miles per hour, 50 to 60, so West Des Moines, about 20 minutes, 22 minutes to get to Clive, 24 minutes to Urbandale. So that's how quickly these storms are moving in from the southwest to the northeast. And we already hear the rain falling here in West Des Moines. We got some heavy rain coming down. Again, wind and heavy rain are the primary threats with this big line of thunderstorms coming in from the southwest.
Yeah, Brad, that update we got from the National Weather Service, they're kind of thinking along the same lines you're just saying. Those of us in the warned area, the severe thunderstorm warning for this big arc of severe thunderstorms, primarily just a wind threat, but for the more isolated storms up in central and north central Iowa from Story County up to Hamilton County, still somewhat of an isolated tornado threat, not completely out of the woods in that regard just yet. Now,
I was just looking at velocity scope as you were talking about that, and yeah, there's still some 60, 70 mile per hour winds likely with the storms coming into central Iowa. And here's what you were talking about, Taylor. These ones up here are more isolated. See how they're kind of by themselves, and they're more round in nature. They've been producing hail. Typically, tornadoes and hail, they go hand in hand. So if you have large hail, you have those strong updrafts, and that is usually typical of a tornadic storm. Wind storms necessarily don't always have strong updrafts. It could be just a general updraft, but the downdrafts now, the downdrafts with wind makers are definitely strong, and that's what we're getting here. So more downdraft-oriented storms here coming through Madison County, Guthrie County, and eventually coming into Dallas and Warren and Polk counties here. So that's why the warning encompasses just about everybody here, all the way down into Osceola and down into Corydon as well. Okay, let me zoom back out here, and we are looking, you can see the tornado warnings continue in eastern Iowa. Those are not moving our way. We are still under a tornado watch, however, so we can't be completely at ease here. We're going to see some severe weather in the metro. It's going to be at least windy, and possibly even a tornado is still possible, especially maybe in the northern and eastern portions of our viewing area.
Yeah, just with those tornado warning storms, nothing confirmed on the ground yet, but they are saying really strengthening in that circulation, and that's tightening up as well for several of those storms in far southeast Iowa. Keokuk County, eastern Keokuk County does remain in a tornado warning, and that's in effect until, let's see, 4:15, I believe, for that warning.
Yeah, so. And that one looks the least impressive right now on radar, so that's good news for our folks that might be in the Keokuk area, just on the edge of the viewing area here. But if we zoom in, again, those thunderstorms pretty intense down there, so if you know folks there, and they're just make sure they're aware that they have tornadoes in the area there in eastern Iowa, if you know somebody in that area. We got a new tornado warning for Appanoose and Monroe, and that is in our viewing area, so we've got this warning right here, folks. We'll take a closer look. So this one is legit, and it's in our viewing area, and that is just off to the southwest of Centerville. It's a tornado warning. It's going to be out until 4:45. Have you seen a pretty good rotation there?
Nothing that stands out incredibly. There is a sign of a little bit of rotation on the radar
starting, here. Yeah. And you can see how it has kind of it has a nice shape to it.
It does.
It's a very sharp edge right here. The inflow is coming in on this side of the storm, so it's trying to rotate here in the back of the storm. Let's see if our shear vision is showing that yet. It probably will here as it starts to develop, though. But I definitely could see it on velocity scope. Definitely some stronger winds coming in. Of course, this is coming into the radar and going away from the radar. So there's our rotation, again, just to the southwest of Centerville. So this is our first tornado warning, really, in central Iowa, or south central Iowa, if you will.
So if you are in Centerville, take shelter. Eventually, it's going to head up toward Monroe County. So Albia, you're going to be under the gun here if this holds together and heads in that general northeast direction. And
yeah, what's the speed there?
55 miles per hour.
Okay, so about 55 miles per hour. So in the Mystic area, in about 7 minutes, Moravia in about 18, Albia 28, and then near Maxton about the same time. So you folks just take cover immediately in these areas. This is probably the most dangerous storm we've seen as far as tornadic goes in central Iowa, south central Iowa now. So that is our tornado warning here. So you folks in those areas take shelter, go to your safe place, lowest level, away from windows, put as many walls between you and the storm as you can. Now here in our neck of the woods, Ames, you're in the clear right now. Again, you've got a break here in Ames and Huxley, Ankeny, but thunderstorms will be racing on in here to the metro. And again, wind is the primary threat here. We've had a heavy shower go through West Des Moines here, but that's not the main storm. The main storm is yet to come here, coming into Polk County, Dallas County, Madison County is getting hit pretty hard right now. I want to show the velocity scope here just to show how strong these winds are. And I've done this before, but winds 76 miles per hour. So it's a couple thousand feet off the ground because that's the way the radar works. But it's still some strong winds, and it doesn't take much to get those down to the surface.
It looks like, yeah, those strongest of the winds are moving into northeast Madison County. Should be arriving in Polk County really before too long. And the way these types of storms work is sometimes the strongest gusts push ahead of when you see those reds or the oranges on the screen. It's called a gust front, pushes ahead of the storm.
Yeah.
So, you know, heads up in Des Moines, could be arriving maybe sooner than you think.
Yeah. So there we've got just an estimation of the time of the thunderstorm and the winds. Possibly about 10 minutes for Clive and about 12 minutes for Urbandale, and downtown about 14 minutes is all we have as these thunderstorms are racing off to the north. Let me give you a wide picture here. You can get an idea of what's going on across the entire state here. You folks in Fort Dodge, you don't have any severe weather yet. We'll keep a close eye on it. Now here's what's going on. You can see these thunderstorms are really racing on through. Let me get my telestration. So we've had these bands of storms. We got one band up here. We had one in northwest Iowa producing storms. We've kind of got this band here, and then we've got the final band, which is the one going through the metro. This will be the last of the severe weather probably for us here in central Iowa. So once this goes through, we'll be in better shape out there. Again, we have a tornado warning down to the south. Appanoose, Monroe, and Keokuk counties all have tornado warnings. Is until 4:45, and that is a legit storm, has a nice little hook developing on it. Let me stop the loop here. I'm going to go down and check out that storm again here. This is the one down to the south here, not too far from Centerville. Again, you can see the hook nature of the storm here, right in there, the curvature of the storm wrapping around. If we take a look at the shear vision, okay, so here's our rotation right now. This thunderstorm right here near Centerville. So if you're in Centerville right now, you are in the right to the northwest of Centerville is where the strongest rotation is, near the Mystic area, Forbush area, Rathbun area, all in the path of the storm and all in a dangerous position. So take shelter, heed this storm, heed the warning as it moves off to the northeast very quickly, heading toward the Moravia and up to Hocking area. Albia also in the path of this storm, and possibly even Blakesburg if it turns a little bit more to the right. So again, take this storm seriously. It's probably the most dangerous looking storm we've seen in a while with these storms. And let's put the radar back on there. And it's moving off to the northeast at about 50 or 60 miles per hour. And we do have a live look, I believe, was it Indianola? We have a live look at Indianola. I'll just go in here real close and we'll take a look at that. So Indianola, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning right now. You can see the thunderstorms are moving in. Here's a live look from Indianola right now. We've got that ready to go. We can put that up. So scanning the shot there, we've got our crew down there to the south. They're in position and in a safe position, but that thunderstorm coming toward them right now, and it's going to be packing some wind and some heavy rains. So we'll be watching that closely just south of town here, Indianola. Also coming into, of course, Polk County, Dallas County, and down through Osceola. And we've had reports earlier of 60-mile-per-hour winds. I haven't seen anything else higher than that. I'm kind of surprised, though, Taylor, that we haven't seen like a 70. Yeah. But there's certainly at least 60-mile-per-hour winds.
Yeah, that's right. Also seen a report here on National Weather Service chat of a funnel cloud reported near the Chillicothe power plant. I would imagine that's with that storm in Appanoose County, trying to confirm where that's located at this point. But that storm down there near Centerville is looking better and better in shape, at least on the base velocity there, or base reflectivity.
Okay. Now
actually, there is some better rotation popping up here as well.
Where was that at?
Again, just with that tornado-warned storm.
Yep.
Just near Centerville.
Yep, Centerville, definitely. And watch the storms up to the north here. They also have a different nature to them. They could produce tornadoes. No warnings yet on those. They've expired that warning in the Ames area, so you got a little break right now. But thunderstorms are going to be pushing on into the metro here. And the only tornado warning in our viewing area right now is really this one down here in Centerville. So Appanoose, Monroe counties, definitely a strong signature here. And I will be surprised if there's not a tornado. Let's put it that way, because there's definitely a rotation here right near the Centerville area. So again, you folks in Centerville, take shelter now. Stay in your shelter until the storm passes. It's going to head up toward Mystic or east of Mystic, up toward the Hyattsville area, and it is moving very quickly off to the northeast. Let me just push this off down to the south a little bit here so I can get a track on this. But it's moving pretty quickly here. So this storm moving up in this direction, and so it's going to be basically in the Moravia area in about 13 minutes, Albia 26, perhaps Blakesburg in about 27. So all of these areas you need to be seeking shelter, and there's maybe some campers in this area. Yeah. Hopefully they're in a good spot right now. Maybe a tornado area storm shelter out there.
Basically, Highway 5 between Centerville, Moravia, and then up toward Albia, not a safe place to be right now. If you are anywhere in that location, then we just have a latest update here, and radar still looks pretty intense.
Yeah, it's still heading toward the main area and the Moravia area, so pretty much right in the center of that tornado warning. So National Weather Service doing a good job of issuing that tornado warning as it heads toward Albia. So you folks in Albia, under that tornado warning, it is moving your way. Seek shelter now. Stay there until the storm has passed, because that is the most dangerous storm we have going. Not to diminish what's happening here in central Iowa. We have thunderstorms moving into Polk County, but they're not that kind of storm right now. They're not showing any signs of rotation, just a lot of wind coming in, and they are moving in pretty quickly. The skies are probably getting dark here, especially on the south side of Des Moines as they roll in. And let me put this into motion for you, and you can see what it looks like as they move on in pretty quickly. So yeah, they're pretty much on the knocking on the door, and they're going to come in here as we go through the next probably 30 minutes or so. They're going to be impacting Polk County. 30 to 40 minutes. It's going to be pretty rocky here during that time period.
All right. A little bit farther west in Crawford County, reports of damage to an outbuilding around 4 o'clock. And then in Dallas County near Dawson, a semi was blown over into the ditch at the intersection of P46 and Highway 44. That just occurred about 5 to 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I see that. That's a pretty big deal. Yeah, some strong winds coming now, and they're moving off again northeast, northeast at 50 miles per hour or so, and some of them may be a little bit faster than that. But our tornado threat is mostly in eastern Iowa. Our high wind threat is coming into central Iowa right now, and it's a large area under that severe thunderstorm warning, including the Des Moines area, and they will probably issue a new warning, I'm sure, Taylor, to expand that further to the north as these storms are starting to get further out of the warned area.
Yeah, I would say before too long. And, you know, if you just look at the velocity here, those strongest winds right now moving through Dallas County. Polk County's just now beginning to feel the effects of the strong wind gusts as well.
Yeah, they might actually maybe focus more on this area of the storm. Let me stop that and show you what we're talking about here. These high winds are right in this area right here, DeSoto and down into maybe even entering West Des Moines now, at least the southern part of West Des Moines. So these are the winds that are coming into the metro right now, and winds of 60, 70 miles per hour will be possible with this storm. So that can cause a lot of damage, and it's dangerous enough that you don't want to be standing near a window during this. You want to be in a shelter, or at least be in a safe place of your house here in these thunderstorm warnings, because a tree could fall, and certainly damage and some injury could happen. So be careful with that.
How about this, Brad? Our radar estimating the winds at just 1,000 feet above the ground near West Des Moines, 68 knots, which is equal to about 75 miles per hour.
Yeah, so that's, yeah, the winds are strong inside the storm. So all it does is try to get those winds down to the surface with a downdraft, and then you've got some damage and you've got problems here in West Des Moines. So that's what's happening right now. Again, we have thunderstorms moving into Polk County right now. We've had some reports of hail. We even have some video earlier that we shot, and maybe we could cue that up. This was shot with our crew here. Just off to the west, it's mostly pea-size hail, but we had hail up to, I think it was quarter size, not too far from here in West Des Moines at our studios. So definitely some hail to be had. This was just on the interstate 3580 west of our studios, and definitely a sign of what these storms can do. Hail, wind, and the threat for so that's what's going on. The tornado warnings continue. You can see on the radar all those tornado warnings over in eastern Iowa, east of 35, and that's where they're going to stay, I think, through the evening. Let's hope anyway. Keep them away from the metro as much as we can and out in rural areas. But we haven't had a confirmation yet, I don't think, of that one down in Monroe and Appanoose.
Nope, haven't seen anything just yet.
Okay.
Again, we may have seen a funnel cloud and around that storm, trying to confirm that still. Still very strong rotation with that storm, and it's approaching Moravia as we speak. So if you're in northern Appanoose, southern, southeast Monroe counties, take shelter right now. Lowest level of your home, most interior room, certainly away from windows. Just make sure to take shelter at this point.
Yeah, we're definitely showing that strongest shear, the rotation near the Hyattsville area. Rain is coming in. Not tornadic at the moment. They are basically wind and
As well as Clive, 65-mile-per-hour wind gusts just reported.
yeah. Coming in. Damage to a home there. So winds up 60 miles per hour expected. Here, Polk County, and stop that. Data on our weather radar here. So Storm Tracker Live, you can see the heavy rain right there coming through. very windy storm system, and it's the wind energy that helps to produce the tornadoes and really severe weather in general. It's the shear of the wind. And eastern Iowa actually has the best environment for that type of tornadic activity. So that's why they're seeing the tornado warnings right now. Okay.
And our news crew that's listening.
Okay, so we are scanning the skies and scanning the airways for any new information out there, and if Jack and Stephanie get anything, they'll let me know as well. Okay, thunderstorms continue to move off through toward the Albee area. You're still under that tornado warning. We haven't had anybody confirm that there's a tornado. It doesn't look quite as good as it did earlier as far as the search.
Potentially with that storm as well.
What size is they saying?
At least the radar I'm looking at here over on this computer, 2.5-inch size hail, potentially. So we're talking 10 balls at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the different computers use algorithms.
They do.
Yeah, and mine's not showing it that large, but definitely some hail and wind makers, and we've had 60 to 70 mile per hour winds coming through with this storm, and it is hitting Polk County right now. And I don't know if anybody's been outside. It doesn't sound like it's terribly windy. I think we may have had winds of 40 to 50 here, but we haven't confirmed that here in our studios at West Des Moines, looking out. From West Des Moines, right outside. Let's take a look at this, and of course we're on through. We'll see what it looks like here. Gusts of 53 knots, it looks like, and funnel cloud in Appanoose County. Okay, so this is Indianola. Is that right? That looks like our sky camera right there, actually. There you go. There's Indianola right there, and you can see the heavy rain coming through Indianola right now. And as I was saying, we did get a funnel cloud reported down in Appanoose County, it looks like. Was that where it was?
Yeah, correct.
And that's the storm we have the tornado warning with right now. Correct. So they have issued a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to the northeast very, very quickly. And again, could you give me what the speed is on that? Moving 60 miles per hour. Winds 70 possible. So it's moving off to the northeast at 60 miles per hour. So again, a lot of folks being impacted by these storms. Let me put a track on that. So some of the heart of the storm is going to be coming on into the Ames and those areas. And we're looking at in about 9 minutes, the strongest winds will be coming in. Saylorville, Johnston being affected real soon here, and the Alleman and areas as well. So we have a, looks like that tornado warning. The one in Appanoose and Monroe, though, it continues until 4:45. You can see the heavy rain coming down in Indianola, just sheets of rain coming down there, a lot of wind as well. Could be winds of 60 miles per hour possible with that storm in Indianola. You're under a severe storm warning in that area as well. So we don't, that tornado warning continues. We've only had a funnel cloud reported down here to the south. So that is just so far a funnel cloud down in Appanoose County. And it's still capable of producing a tornado. You can see it's a very strong storm, as Taylor was saying, capable of producing some large hail as well in that portion of the county. It looks like in the southern portion of Monroe County. So,
yeah. Tornado warned storm looks like, again, along Highway 5 between Moravia and Albia. If there is still rotation, that's where it's going to be located in southern Monroe County.
Okay. So the thunderstorm is moved through the Des Moines area now. We're kind of getting a break out there. We just have light rain here in West Des Moines. The heavy rain now moving up into the Norwalk area, into parts of Des Moines, seeing some heavy rainfall. You can see it moving up into Ankeny right now, the heavy rain on the north side. So definitely feeling some thunderstorm activity right now with this storm as it moves off to the northeast. Moving off into the north of the metro will be the wind, and we've had wind gusts of estimated 70 miles per hour, and that was in Warren County. And of course we were down in Indianola right now, and we had a crew right there, so our crew is standing by there in Indianola, and maybe they'll find some damage in that area, but there was winds estimated of 70 miles per hour in Indianola, so it might have been a little horrific going through that, sitting down there with their camera pointed into the storm.
They're saying that sirens are going off in Ankeny. If you're hearing sirens, don't worry, there's not a tornado warning. Sometimes emergency managers decide to issue these when there are excessively strong straight-line winds.
Yeah, typically the rule, Taylor, is if there's a thunderstorm warning with winds of 70 miles per hour, and we also have a tornado watch. So that criteria, and a lot of times will make them sound the tornado sirens just to let everybody know that it's a dangerous situation. So if you are hearing the sirens, it's because the winds could be up to 70 miles per hour, and that can cause a lot of damage. That could rip your roof off if your roof is not on there securely, or the wind hits it just in Keokuk counties. All right, so we are looking at these thunderstorms again. Let me give the wide picture here and just give you the wide look of what's going on and show you the loop here. And thunderstorms continue to move off to the north very quickly here, moving through the metro. It's about 4:22 right now, and in about 30 minutes it's going to be passed through at least Polk County. So probably about 5 o'clock or so. We are going to be on the south side of this, and we won't see any more severe weather today. So this is the last, probably, I think, the last line right here. And then in this area is where it's more favorable for tornadoes. And we got some hail reported with that storm to the south, and that's not surprising. Hail and tornadoes go hand in hand, so these are more likely to produce some large hail and also produce tornadoes.
Yeah, quarter-size hail with that storm, 3 miles south-southwest of Albia in Monroe County there.
So this one right here. And this did have a reported funnel with it, but it did not touch down, which is good, great news here. But you folks in Albia, you remain under that tornado warning. So just wait till the storm passes here. I'm going to stop this loop and take a closer look at this storm and take a look at the shear vision product. And still showing that shear on the backside of the storm here. I hear some sirens.
The severe thunderstorm warning. So again, no tornado warning for Polk County, just a severe thunderstorm.
And I think earlier when they issued that first warning, it must have been 60-mile-per-hour winds, so there was no sirens.
That makes sense.
And now the winds are estimated to be 70 miles per hour, so the sirens are sounding. So it's basically a function of the winds. If the winds are going to be 70 or higher estimated, then the sirens do sound. Even though it's not a tornado warning for County, that is why the sirens are sounding, if you're wondering about that right now. And you can see we have that new warning issued for all of Polk County, and it's heading up into Story County, Boone County, and a portion
Our weekend meteorologist, Bree Sullivan, just sent me a text and said power is out in Grimes.
Okay.
So not surprising to hear that with the reports of 65 to 70. A heck of a lot of damage. It's a serious situation, so people need to take it seriously. And the thought with the emergency managers was, hey, you know, this will get people's attention and get them inside.
And I just got a report that hundreds of people are without power in West Des Moines right now. And Nick, you're going to have to say that again. What? Okay, we got a live shot here in Indianola. You can see that's a live pick. Indianola storm is still going through that area. It's just about, the worst is just about ready to move out of Indianola, but you've been hit pretty hard there. At least 60, 70 mile per hour winds, heavy rain coming down, and we have pockets of heavy rain all the way through Polk County, and it'll be heading up into Greene County. You've got some heavy thunderstorms as well, and you folks in Ames as well. Boone and Story counties also experiencing, or will be experiencing, some severe weather, including wind is the primary threat, I think, from these particular storms. And still the 3 tornado warnings, or 4 tornado warnings in eastern Iowa. One of those still in effect until about 4. Looks like it's going to go until 4:45. So another 20 minutes or so for you folks down into Monroe County. It was just surprising. Well, there's good news. We don't see as much rotation with that storm, but still the threat for a tornado does continue. That is a storm that has produced a funnel cloud, and it could produce a tornado. So back into our central Iowa area, we're looking at a lot of thunderstorms kind of scattered throughout. Nothing's very organized, but there's a lot of wind energy inside these thunderstorms. So we're getting lots of reports of damage coming in. Homeowner just west of Murray reports some shingles blown off, flagpole snapped, and I guess we're going to go over to Jack and Stephanie with some more reports that they have.
That's right. Yes. Brad, we're keeping an eye on some power outages, and Jack, do you have that map up right now?
Yeah, it looks like the latest from Mid-American Energy is that we've got really 5 separate outages in the immediate metro area, most on the west side of the metro, and each one of those outages is at least 500 customers, and then there's a little further out, closer to Waukee, that's an outage of less than 500 customers. So we're starting to see some of those outages roll in, and there are also additional smaller outages that are south and west of the metro.
Yeah, I'm reading kind of an overview of the Des Moines area, and Mid-American Energy says about 10,000 people as of 4/22 are without power right now, and about 2,604. That's a lot of people without their power. And again, we heard the sirens going off in West Des Moines. It sounds like we silenced those, but we also got a report of Waukee and Ankeny. And again, Brad, you said not a tornado, but still straight line winds, very dangerous. Yeah,
they are dangerous, and that's why most of the cities have agreed that they will sound the sirens if there's an estimated or a possibility of 70 mile per hour winds. And we have Orko, who's live in Indianola right now. And Orko, what have you experienced there? How bad has it been there in Indianola?
Yeah, well, it is really raining really hard here, and it just started within the last half hour or so. It was just windy and just cloudy here earlier, but now, as you can tell, the rain is really falling down hard. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see what the conditions right now. We are seeing a lot of rain, a lot of water accumulating on the ground. Also, it's very windy, like I mentioned earlier. It was so windy that we actually had to kind of hold on to our camera and tripod. It was about to fall over. You can see that there are just a few cars on the roads, and that's a good thing. We want everyone to stay indoors while the storm passes through the area. Again, very rain heavy here. We've also seen some lightning strikes and some thunder here as well. As Brad mentioned, thunderstorms are sweeping through the outer metro and metro areas now, so we're definitely seeing a lot of that, hearing a lot of that, definitely getting very wet here, that's for sure. So we just want everyone out here in the Indianola area or elsewhere to stay inside, to stay away from these conditions. Again, raining very hard, very windy, wind gusts around 70, as Brad had mentioned, but we're going to send it back to you guys in the studio for now.
So, Orko, yeah, it was pretty bad there in the Indianola area, so thanks for that report. And what's that? Yes. Yeah, we have new warnings that have been issued here in central Iowa. So we've got new warnings that have been issued. It's basically a large area, as you can see on the radar right now. Giant thunderstorm complex going through central Iowa. So just about everybody is under the severe thunderstorm warning, I should say. We've got numerous areas. So we're talking about Boone County until 5 o'clock. We've got Story County o'clock severe thunderstorm warning. We've got Jasper County till 5 o'clock, and then we've got Marion County until 5:30. This is the new warning that's been issued, and that even goes up into Powesheik County until that time as well. So severe thunderstorm warning for Mahaska County until 5:30. All of these counties, these are a lot of counties under severe thunderstorm warnings, and it's just easier for the National Weather Service to issue these large ones because we have so many complexes of thunderstorms kind of embedded in there that we're going to have severe weather here and there, and it's hard to pinpoint it right now. But any of those areas could see some gusty winds, 60 to 70 miles per hour, and we've had numerous reports of branches down and some power outages coming in from places like the Beaver area in Des Moines, and power outages there. It looks like Beaver Drive, power outages in Johnston is what I'm seeing right now. You seeing anything else over there, Taylor?
Not much, so much as far as power outages. There are reports of multiple power lines down in West Des Moines along Ashworth Road. That was reported at 4:14, so about 15 minutes ago there. And then, again, just a lot of tree branches reported down. I had a couple friends in Norwalk text me saying there were trees down there. Also in Indianola, some tree branches down that were greater than 2 inches wide, so pretty large branches there, and also some tree damage in the northeast side of Des Moines as well.
And I can still hear the sirens here. We're in West Des Moines here, of course, Local 5 Studios, and I can still hear the sirens blowing, so still have the sirens sounding. We're still under that warning. Now, looking at the radar, you can see we are getting into the better area of the storm. It's kind of moving off to the northeast, so West Des Moines starting to improve weather conditions here. Ankeny, you're getting hit hard right now with some big thunderstorms in that area, and putting on the ID out there, some pretty heavy rain. I'm going to show you the velocity here, and again, velocities are pretty strong in this area, and I'm just going to ID one of these just to curiosity here to see. Still winds up to 68 miles per hour, certainly possible with these storms. That's why the sirens are sounding. So when the winds are possibly going to be 70 miles per hour, they're going ocean here, and you can see that this band going through right now will be probably the last severe band. Here, usually there's not as much damage. It doesn't cause property damage. So that's kind of the magic mark, unfortunately. 60 miles per hour or higher is when you start to get quite a bit of damage with these thunderstorms. So again, the sirens are sounding because of 70-mile-per-hour winds that are possible. It's not because we have a tornado anywhere in central Iowa. The only tornado warning we have is down in Monroe County, and that has been so far just a funnel cloud. So we'll just keep you up to date on that. Anything new to report, Taylor?
Well, good news with that tornado warning in Monroe County. Rotation doesn't look nearly like it did just 20 minutes ago. Pretty much very little rotation at this point. I think some other storms are beginning to collide with it a little bit and cut off that warm inflow that helps feed those storms and helps create tornadoes. So that's certainly good news there. Still, if you are in eastern Monroe County, including Albia, go ahead and keep taking shelter. That warning is in effect until 4:45. Again, that tornado warning. Looks like there is also a severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued for that same area.
Yeah, it kind of overlaps itself. You folks in Oskaloosa, you're going to get this thunderstorm moving in right now. Now, this is not the one that produced the funnel cloud. It's like what Taylor said. They're kind of developing all around it. This is a new cell, but it is pretty intense, and it's coming into Oskaloosa. You're under severe thunderstorm warning there, and you're going to see some winds probably very much like everybody else, 60 to 70 miles per hour likely, and some damage expected with that. Thankfully, that tornado warning is going to expire at 4:45. So in about 10 more minutes or so, that tornado warning will expire. And as Taylor said, it's become really muddy down there with a lot of showers and thunderstorms around. So maybe less likely to see a tornado there. We've got heavy thunderstorms just east of the Ames area. You folks in Huxley, Ankeny, especially on the north side of Ankeny, it looks like Altoona. Heavy rain coming down, high winds expected here. Our velocity scope showing some very high winds there in the Huxley area. And let me just show you how strong we're showing those, 68 miles per hour. And again, that's probably, 1,000 feet or 2,000 feet up in the atmosphere. But it's still a strong wind. It doesn't take much to get it down to the surface where we live, and could cause some damage. Thunderstorms continue around the Runnels area. You can see the heaviest rain has passed through Des Moines and West Des Moines, Johnson. So we're starting to become a little bit better weather here. We still got some rain falling, though, in Woodside, but nothing severe there. The severe weather moving off to the east right now. And again, wind is the primary threat with these thunderstorms. They kind of formed a line is what they did, and they kind of took the tornado threat away. So we kind of traded that tornado threat that we had earlier. We traded it for a wind threat. So it's become a windstorm because of the nature of these thunderstorms and the line that they developed.
Yeah, and Brad, those storms out in eastern Iowa that are more isolated, there's actually a report now, and I just saw a picture of it, of a tornado on the ground not too far away from Burlington. So that proves that the more isolated your storm is, the better chance you're going to have for a tornado.
Yeah, and they also have in eastern Iowa there, I could even, you can see it on the radar there in the far eastern, down the corner there, that's just the storm probably producing the tornado here. And also, that is where they have kind of a southeast surface wind. It helps to get the rotation
Brad,
going
let me
at low
interrupt.
levels. We got a new warning. I see
new
that.
Tornado warning, yep.
New tornado warnings. This is the same cell coming out. So this was heading toward Oskaloosa. Actually, it's that newer cell that I was talking about. And again, it's on the eastern edge of complex of thunderstorms here. So we have a new tornado warning. It includes Oskaloosa, much of Mahaska County. So again, rotation is developing with this storm, and a tornado is possible with this storm. It looks like capable of producing a tornado. So what they're saying is it has rotation with it. Nothing's been spotted right now, but it's near Eddyville, about 10 miles northeast of Albia, moving north at 45 miles per hour. So let's take a closer look at this storm. Again, this is a new one, and I was just talking about this storm earlier, and it looks like it could produce a tornado. So let's start with the velocity scope here, and you can see that pocket of stronger rotation. There's a couple pockets, actually. Let me show what the shear vision is showing. So it's this storm still coming out into the Eddyville area that's going to produce that strong possibility of a tornado. Let me map it for you just real quick here so get a timeline on this. It is moving off to the north at about 50 miles per hour. So it's going to be impacting Eddyville in about 8 minutes, Beacon area in about 16 minutes, the University Park area 17, Oskaloosa in about 18 minutes. So seek shelter immediately in those areas. Again, it's the northern part of Monroe County heading into Mahaska County is what we're looking at there near Eddyville. Okay, let's move on and move further up to the north. Again, our thunderstorms continue to move out of the metro, so things are quieting down in Des Moines, but they're ramping up in places like Ames. Slater's getting some thunderstorms right now and some severe weather there as well. But I think our main concern, Taylor, is going to be that storm coming into Mahaska County right now.
Yeah, if you're in Eddyville, that area of rotation is very, very close to Eddyville. It's probably right over town, actually, as we speak. So please take shelter there, and then it's going to track pretty close to Oskaloosa, maybe jogging just east of town, but too close to really take a risk there. If you're in Oskaloosa and most of Mahaska County, take your safety precautions as well. Again, lowest level of your home, in the most interior room, a bathroom, areas like that are good places to take shelter during this time.
Definitely. So let me take a look at shear vision. Hopefully that'll it just updated as I was talking. So there we got those two pockets of rotation again with this storm, one south of Eddyville, one north of Eddyville, but you're kind of surrounded in Eddyville. So take the precautions there, take shelter, stay in your shelter till the storm passes. That is one of a couple of tornado warnings we have. The one near Albia is probably going to expire real soon and not be reissued. But you folks in Oskaloosa and most of Mahaska County definitely have that threat for a tornado with this storm as it moves north at about 50, was it 40 miles per hour or 50? But it was moving north pretty quickly. Let's see, it was a 45, north of 45. So that's been the general speed, 45 to 50 miles per hour, some faster. But looking at the big picture again, thunderstorms are moving out of Polk County. They're kind of in northern and eastern Polk County right now, heading into Story County. And you folks in Story County are going to see the same thing we had, and that's going to mean more rain, more thunderstorms, and more high winds with these storms as they move north. And I don't know if we've gotten more reports of outages coming in. Yeah. So let's go to Jack and Stephanie for a second to see what's up with that.
Yeah, Brad, just probably in about the last 20 or 30 minutes, we've seen the number of outages reported by Mid-American Energy has more than doubled, and we're now at, in Des Moines, nearly 21,000 customers without electricity. Here in the Des Moines area, Fort Dodge has the next highest number of outages at about 2,600. So that has really boosted up since we saw that wave of heavy winds come through here.
Yeah,
so.
About 20 minutes ago, that number in Des Moines has about doubled, and it has gone up in Fort Dodge as well. And this is a good time for us to remind you to download our We Are Iowa app. It's got a great live interactive radar on it. If you can't be around a TV, then it's a good way for you to stay connected. Also, we are live streaming on our website, We Are Iowa, right now, and I know people in Waukee lost their satellite or texting me, well, what's happening? You know, let me know. Go to the website. You can still get what Brad is saying. So that's a good resource right now.
Yep, and we're streaming on Facebook right now as we speak. Most of the NOAA wind damage reports that we've seen lately, Brad, there were 4 out of Buena Vista County with a hog barn damage there, utility poles knocked over, a garage knocked down, that kind of thing. So those are the wind damage reports that I'm seeing in the NOAA damage center right now.
All right, thanks, guys. We have a storm tracker, Local 5 storm tracker. He's out there tracking these storms for us. And Marshall, if you can hear me right now, can you tell us where you're at and what you're seeing? We have no audio, I'm sorry. So can you tell me where he's located at then? Maybe our producer can... Okay, this is the one that produced a tornado then. He's in near the Burlington area in southeast Iowa. So he's tracking the storm live, and that's the one that did produce a tornado. And so far, we haven't had tornadoes that were produced in central Iowa, but we do have that tornado warning still for Mahaska County. So definitely we'll keep an eye on the skies out there, and he's tracking this storm further off into the southeastern part of the state. Let's go to the radar then and show you the full screen. We are looking at this thunderstorm here in our viewing area, which is heading into Oskaloosa, the Eddyville area. Let's take a look at the shear vision product, which is going to show us where the pockets of shear are. Now, this is where the rotation is the tightest and the strongest, and you can see that pocket right there is probably the strongest one within this storm. Let's zoom in for a closer look, and it's not too far from the Given area, LaConta, and heading into Beacon. It's heading toward Beacon and Oskaloosa. So you folks in Oskaloosa are in the path of this storm, and it could produce a tornado. Let me track that for you real quick here as it moves off toward your direction here. So it's moving at a pretty good clip, and so it's going to be heading Oskaloosa probably in about 7 minutes is all you have. So you should be in your shelter right now. Take this storm seriously. It's the most dangerous storm we have on our radar in central Iowa right now because of the threat for tornadoes in this area. New Sharon in about 25 minutes. So again, heed the warning here. This thunderstorm moving very quickly to the northeast, and it'll continue to move right into Mahaska County. Let me put the radar back on for you here. You can see heavy rain coming into Mahaska or to Oskaloosa right now. Heavy rain, probably some wind, but the most dangerous part of the storm is yet to get there. It is off to your southwest.
Hey, Brad and folks in the control room, if you want to pull up the other weather computer real quick, we have a photo sent in of some pretty large hail out of Albia with that tornado-warned storm here. We'll pop that up real quick.
That is large, yeah.
Yeah, trying to figure out just how big that is, but
it's quarter to golf ball, maybe.
I would say so.
Yeah, at least quarter size.
But yeah, there you go.
There's
a strong updraft with this thing and producing some big-time hail.
Okay, thanks for that picture. The thunderstorms are moving out of the metro. That's good news here. Here's the wide view of the radar again. You can see the thunderstorms continue to move off to the north and east, and I'll put this into motion for you here. You can get the big picture. So here in the metro, we've we've gone through the worst of it. We've had a lot of power outages, a lot of tree damage out there. It's still daylight, and people will go out after the storms pass. And once the warning is out of your area, I mean, you're safe to go outside. It still may be raining, but the warning is lifted in Dallas County and western Polk County, and also down into Indianola. You're still going to have some rain. There's not a whole lot of lightning. I've got the lightning tracker on there, and you can see even with the severe weather, there hasn't been a lot of lightning. Some of the most lightning is coming in from Mahaska County with our tornado warning right now. So that's a pretty strong updraft with that storm, and that's why it's producing some larger hail. And let's see what the hail vision is showing with that as well. You can see that's we got really big hail out in eastern Iowa, by the way, according to our hail vision. But that's going to not affect us. Oskaloosa, though, you're going to probably see at least quarter-size or nickel-size hail along with that threat for tornadoes in this area.
Yeah, Brad, just got confirmation that hail picture I showed you was just about golf ball size hail, so that's that storm you're talking about right there.
Okay, yeah, it definitely has a stronger updraft. And as I said before, hail and tornadoes kind of go hand in hand. They like the same type of weather. They like supercell thunderstorms. Those are the ones that have rotation, they have strong updrafts, and they help produce those tornadoes and the hail at the same time. So Oskaloosa, I'm going to stop this loop. You are getting hit pretty hard right now with this thunderstorm coming in, and the biggest threat is still yet to come with that rotation. There's a couple pockets. Near Oskaloosa we have one, but mostly they're just north of Eddyville is probably where the most dangerous part of that storm is. Let's zoom in for a closer look. So right over Oskaloosa and also in Eddyville. I'm going to take a look at the actual velocity scope and we'll see what we got here. So just kind of inspecting this so you can see where we have the stronger pockets of rotation there, and it's basically focusing on those two areas within the storm here, especially down here. We've got some stronger winds coming in. Oh, they're just updated. Okay, there's a really strong couplet right there, just off near the Eddyville area. Some very strong winds there. Okay, so let's put that off. The thunderstorm is capable of producing a tornado. I'm surprised we haven't had anybody report at least a funnel cloud yet from this, Taylor.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything in that regard just yet.
But the tornado warning does continue for Mahaska County and a small portion of Monroe County, and that continues until 5:15 unless something changes. But right now it doesn't look like it's going to change. It looks like that's going to continue till 5:15. So stay in your shelter in Mahaska County in the Eddyville area as that storm is still capable of producing a tornado. There's definitely some rotation with that storm as it moves off to the north and pretty quickly as well. The problem is it continues to redevelop, it seems like, as one storm moved through and then another one kind of redeveloped. But the tornado warning does continue, and they just reissued that just to make sure. I don't think there's anything new in the update. Let me read here. Just a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was still located near Oskaloosa. How many people are without power? 18,000 people without power now in West Des Moines. So this is reminiscent of what happened in Fort Dodge last night. You folks in Fort Dodge were hit hard with power outages last night, and now it is West Des Moines' turn to get through the storm, I guess. Just the Des Moines area. I'm sorry, that was just Des Moines. But the Des Moines area. So thunderstorms still rolling through central Iowa here from Fort Dodge. You have some heavy thunderstorms, Fort Dodge, no warning there. Ames, you've got thunderstorms. You have the warning in place with some high winds. Let's focus in a little bit on the Ames area here and stop that loop. And take a look at the velocity scope again. Very high winds there off in the Nevada area. So take a look at these winds right here. Boy, we're talking winds 68 miles per hour in Nevada. Again, that's up inside the storm, but still, it is a strong, strong wind. So high winds expected here. There will be likely some more damage reports coming in around Ames or east of Ames from that thunderstorm. Also, Ankeny, you're pretty much in the clear right now. Still some rain falling. Heavy weather moving into Newton right now. Prairie City, Monroe, Grinnell. All of you seeing some thunderstorm activity. Tornado warning does continue into the Oskaloosa area. And again, that storm still packing some strong rotation off toward the east of Oskaloosa, it looks like now, with that particular storm. What are you seeing over there, Taylor?
Yeah, still kind of keeping an eye on a couple of areas of rotation. The latest update from the National Weather Service said one area was of rotation was just over Oskaloosa, which is now drifted just north of town. And then there's that separate one near Eddyville, which to me has consistently been the stronger area of rotation.
It has, yeah. And that's at the southern end of that warning. You can see that area just north of Eddyville. That's probably the most dangerous part, and that's where most likely a tornado would develop. We'll put the radar back on. So let me just draw a right in here. So this area right here, it kind of has a notch in it there. And then if I take the radar off, you can see that's exactly where the shear vision is showing this rotation. So just north of Eddyville, heading up into, and there's Oskaloosa as well, but this particular rotation's heading, it looks like, east of Oskaloosa. So that threat will continue in Mahaska County. If you're in Mahaska County, seek shelter, stay in your shelter, and just ride the storm out and be safe about it.
A few towns in particular that really need to take shelter: Wright, Keoma Village, Rose Hill, University Park definitely need to take shelter due to that area of rotation.
Okay, here's our big picture again. I like to show this just to give you an overview of what's happening here. The tornado watch was issued. It goes until 7 o'clock, but that's going to be probably dropped from west to east as we go through the afternoon. Once this main line goes through, our threat for tornadoes will go down. But I'll have to say, some of these little bands, you know, even though they don't look like much, they could be low tops, but they could get some rotation going. So we'll keep an eye on things. But generally, this is our main show right here going through. And once that passes, things will get a lot quieter for us here in central Iowa. Eastern Iowa, though, we got a couple more hours yet before things quiet down. So you folks are going to be probably seeing some severe weather even past 6 o'clock or so. Thunderstorms moving into the Ames area. You can see thunderstorms in eastern Iowa are moving in east of the metro. Colfax and Grinnell, Monroe, all in there. Jasper County getting hit pretty hard. And then our tornado warning continues here. Again, no reports of, I think earlier we had a funnel cloud with this particular storm, but we haven't seen anything reported other than that, have we?
No, nothing confirmed with that tornado warning.
Okay.
Back to the metro real quick. Earlier there was a report that folks were evacuating the tallest buildings in downtown Des Moines due to estimated winds of 70 miles per hour downtown. So, I mean, I don't blame them one bit. But
yeah, I guess it depends on how strong your building is. Yeah. But most buildings are capable of withstanding that. But yeah, just to be safe, I guess get to a lower level would be safer than a higher level, I guess.
Yeah.
So thunderstorms continue to push off to the east here. And our warnings, by the way, a lot of these severe thunderstorm warnings are until 5:30. So it's going to last a little while longer, it looks like, for a lot of those warnings, the severe thunderstorm warnings that we have. Let's see what we got here. Anything new going on? Let's pause this for just a second here. And looks like things are pretty much status quo right now. That tornado warning continues down in Mahaska County right now. Hail is a possibility. Definitely some hail there coming out of Oskaloosa through Mahaska County. That's the largest hail that we can probably get from these storms through this area.
I'm looking at a picture right now of that supercell in, well, near Wapello County, and kind of a rugged wall cloud. At least
is that something we can get on the air? Or not?
I may be able to request to see if we can use this picture.
Okay, but we have a cool picture there. We also have a picture out of West Des Moines, some damage here. This is a West Des Moines damage. You can see, is this a live picture, by the way? Yes, this is a live picture, West Des Moines here. We've got the police out there, emergency management. We've got some damage reported, of course, all throughout Des Moines, West Des Moines, up into Johnston. A lot of people without power right now, so it's going to be a cleanup time. As the worst of the storm has passed through the Des Moines area now, people are starting to get out and about and assess how much damage there is right now. So our crews were kind of riding the storm out in Indianola, also here in West Des Moines, and we've also got a chaser following a tornadic storm in southeast Iowa. And so we're kind of on top of this right now with these thunderstorms moving on through. The most dangerous storm still is around Oskaloosa. So you folks are still kind of in the bullseye right now in Mahaska County. So be careful there. Stay in your shelter until the storm has passed on through. The warning continues at least until 5:15. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if it's moving as fast as it once was, but it seems to be taking a long time to get through Mahaska County and that area. So thunderstorms continue to move through. Let me show you the big loop here. And these thunderstorms, again, pushing on through. 2 tornado warnings, one out toward Muscatine, the other one near Oskaloosa there in Mahaska County. The rest of it is severe thunderstorm warnings, although the tornado watch does continue, so we have to be on our guard just in case something were to spin up. Fort Dodge, you've got thunderstorms moving in. They're not severe. Ames, the worst has passed to your north. Grinnell, you've got thunderstorms just off to your east for the most part. You can see the heavier thunderstorms. We'll take a closer look. And these are the ones that came through Des Moines, giving us quite a show and giving us quite a bit of severe weather. And so Newton and north of Newton looking at severe weather in portions of Jasper County. The Newburgh area, Baxter getting hit, Rushville, the Kellogg area, all under the gun here with this thunderstorm. Further on down, New Sharon, and you can see the Oskaloosa storm here. This is the one producing at least a tornado warning. Earlier we had a funnel cloud reported with it, but hasn't seen too much in the way of reports of a tornado. The strongest rotation with this storm still remains off to the southeast of Oskaloosa. So you can see here between Oskaloosa and Wright, that's where the strongest pocket of rotation heading toward the Keomah Village area, and that'll be moving right up to the north here. So you folks, maybe Rose Hill and west of Rose Hill, be on the guard. Oskaloosa, you're still very close to the pocket, the most dangerous part of that storm. So again, that tornado warning does continue for Oskaloosa and all of Mahaska County as we go into the evening hours or the next 30 minutes or so. All right, so looking at the wide picture, and let's see what we got here. We got things are quieting down, at least for the metro here.
We do have a new warning that was issued up north there.
Okay, so you can see that. As Taylor said, that new warning just issued, so it's pushing northward here. And just a history of 60 to 70 mile per hour winds, so they just continue to show that kind of progressing eastward. And again, is it still moving at 50 miles per hour? Can you pop up radar real quick there and see what that says? Still moving
60
at 60 miles per hour. So these storms are just hauling, heading up into Iowa Falls, Eldora, Marshalltown, Traer, Jewell. All these areas are going to see the impact of that storm moving on in as we go through the next hour or so.
Yeah, and the warning still says hazard gusts up to 70 miles per hour still a possibility with that line.
Yes, and I agree. There's parts of it. It's not just all of it. It's just parts of that thunderstorm complex that have those winds in it. It's just a very broken line of thunderstorms, but it's still packing a lot of strong wind with it as well. So we have one tornado warning, and we have one, and there's a live pic again from West Des Moines, some damage that they're already working on. Emergency management and those folks are out there. So we have one tornado warning in Mahaska County, including Oskaloosa, and the rest of you probably, if you're watching right now, you might be under a severe thunderstorm warning. Polk County, pretty much clear. It looks like there's no severe weather in Polk County anymore. Dallas County, Madison County, Warren County, all behind the storm and in the clear as far as severe weather goes. So that is good news as well. So I don't know if Jack, Stephanie, is there anything new going on?
Well, I've been keeping track of some of the viewer comments that we've been getting on social media, which, by the way, is a great way to share with us. If you are seeing something, you have a video or a picture you want to share, you can always send it to us at news@weareiowa.com, or check us out on Facebook. Our Facebook page is We Are Iowa Local 5 News, and there's a lot of different content on there right now that we just can't share with you at the moment. But a viewer named Christina Frank Toledo said that there is a large tree down in Des Moines by Lincoln High School right next to the tennis courts. And then viewer Brian Nielsen told us that there was intense wind by the Des Moines airport, but he didn't see any hail at that time, and that was about 25 minutes ago.
We've got about nearly 22,000 customers without electricity in the Mid-American Energy Central Iowa region, and about nearly 19,000 of them are in the Des Moines area. So if you don't have electricity right now, you're not hearing us, but you know by now that you just go to your app, your Local 5 app, right on your phone. You can download it in the Apple Store or the Android Store and put it right on there, and all our latest stories and our weather coverage and our photos and our live weather coverage is right on our app. So you should have that on your phone.
And streaming on weareiowa.com right now. So again, if you've lost your satellite, you can't see us on the TV, great resource to stay in the know. And when you can safely get outside and take some pictures of any damage around you, we'd appreciate it if you shared that with us.
Yeah, probably the easiest way is to send it to our Facebook page. We're monitoring that right away. We'll check out those photos, and a lot of times we can get them on the air within just a few minutes to help other viewers in our area see what's happening out there. Brad?
All right, thanks, guys. Well, we continue to monitor the storms. The worst of it, of course, is still in Mahaska County near Oskaloosa, and we have a Local 5 storm tracker headed in that direction, Aaron Pippin. And Aaron Pippin hopefully will bring us some live pictures here. Just let me know when he's ready here. And there's the live pictures right now. So he's heading into that storm, going in from the east, and he is heading in toward that storm. So Aaron, if you can hear me right now, tell us what you're seeing and what you've seen so far today.
Hi, Brad. Yeah, I can hear you. I am currently very near Delta, just turned north on Highway 21, going up toward What Shear. Right now, seeing what appears to be like a shelf cloud. You guys might have saw that on my screen. I just turned north, so you may lose visibility of that as we try to get ahead of it a little farther. So far, I haven't seen anything tornadic from my vantage point. Earlier when it was near Oskaloosa, I was on farther east toward another storm. So I just now got on this storm.
Okay.
Like I said, so I haven't seen anything tornadic or anything real impressive from my vantage point yet.
Okay. So we've got the radar pulled up, and you're right near the What Shear area, and that storm is coming right towards you. So are you going to kind of hunker down and stay in that position, or are you going to try to get inside of it?
Probably what I'm going to do is up here at What Shear, I'm probably going to turn back east and just try to stay ahead of it. I don't want to get inside of that. I want to stay out, just ahead of it so I can get a good view of it and stay out of anything that could cause me any harm.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Aaron, we're looking at strong rotation just to the east or west of Rose Hill. So west of Rose Hill and probably heading in your direction of the What Shear area. So that's probably a good place to be. You don't want to go too much further to the west. Have you seen, with the storm earlier, did you ever see any rotation, wall cloud or anything like that?
No, and like I said, I just now got on it within the last 5 minutes, being able to see the base or anything like that. So I was not in a very good position to see any wall cloud or anything like that. I was just out of position.
Okay. Even with the storm earlier that you were by Burlington, did you see anything with that one?
I was up near Washington. When we left it, it was starting to maybe organize again, and it's moved off up now up toward northwest of Iowa City, actually.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, yeah. So you're in the What Shear area right now. We're going to come back to you later on as this storm moves your way. We want to get some more reports from you. So thanks for your reports, Aaron.
Okay, no problem, Brett.
All right, guys, so we've got Aaron there on that storm. That's the one in Mahaska County heading up into that area. And again, it has not produced a tornado that we know of, but it has had a lot of rotation, has the strongest ability to produce a tornado. They did cancel the tornado warning for Wapello County. If you're interested in that, it was never really in Wapello County. It was just near it, and they've canceled that warning for Wapello County, the tornado warning. So that's good news there. But the tornado warning does continue for Mahaska County because of that rotation there. You can see on my radar. All right, so here's the big picture again, and Aaron Pippin will be with us in the next maybe 10-15 minutes from now. We can check in with him to see what's going on with that storm. Meanwhile, the thunderstorm continues to push off to the north, and there's new warnings in effect right now. You can see it's moved out of Polk County, so that's good news. We've cleared the Polk County area. So now you can see the warning for Hamilton County until 6 p.m. We've got a warning for Hardin County as also until 6 p.m. Marshall County, 6 p.m. All of these, Grundy County and Tama County as well. Let's move it on down to the south here, some of these other warnings. And we've got other warnings in these areas as well. So we're talking about Powesheik County, Jasper County, and there Mahaska County. You've actually got two warnings in Mahaska County. You got the severe thunderstorm warning and the tornado warning, both going on in the same storm because you've got both types of weather right there. You got wind and severe weather. So that's what's going on. We'll take a closer look again at some of these storms moving through. Good news is the Des Moines area clear. Bad news, Montezuma, Barnes City, New Sharon, all these areas seeing some thunderstorms right now, some high winds. Likely with these storms. Here's the velocity scope, and not as strong as some of the other winds up on the north side, actually. I think some of the winds up here a lot stronger going through the Baxter area. You can see the Melbourne area, State Center, all very, very strong winds in that area. So probably going to see some damage all through central Iowa, including Marshalltown, Melbourne, State Center. All these areas are likely to see damage as we go through the next, you see that pocket of bright bright red there, kind of pinkish. Those are very high winds, probably 60 to 70 miles per hour with that particular area of the storm. So definitely a severe storm there.
Yeah.
And Fort Dodge, we've got general thunderstorms, nothing severe. Taylor?
Brad, you want to scan back down to those storms to the south and east around there. We had a report of 65-mile-per-hour wind gust in Pella not too long ago. Also in Mahaska County, again, information that a large tree fell on a home just south of exit 60 off of Highway 163. So whether that was straight line winds or maybe tornado damage, we don't know yet. But again, there was some significant damage there in Mahaska County due to these storms.
Okay. Thanks for that report, Taylor. Again, it looks like the tornado warning has allowed to expire right now. They haven't reissued it yet. So that was the Mahaska one that was out till 5 o'clock or so, and it has been, as far as I know, it's expired. Is that correct?
Yeah, they canceled it.
So right now we have no tornado warnings in our viewing area, which is good news, but there's still a lot of severe weather moving on through. Been a lot of power outage, a lot of damage. We have that live shot from West Des Moines we were showing you earlier. Maybe we want to show that again, but a lot of people out working here in Polk County and Dallas County and many areas. Warren County, Madison County, they've all had severe weather and all kind of getting outside and cleaning up. We got some light rain falling, but no severe weather here in Polk County. We're going to go ahead and do what? Okay, we're going to go ahead and start the newscast, everyone. So stay with us here at Local 5. We'll have a complete forecast for you and a complete update on your news coming up now.